สุธีภวันตุเต
สวัสดีค่ะ Greeting to all venerable monks and DOU students from around the world, and welcome to DOU online course, the chanting from Pali to English, and welcome everyone on the Wednesday class. And as you know, we are live streaming from Thailand, and we also broadcasting live on YouTube and Facebook. So you can actually invite your friends and family or your loved one to join the class as well. And I am Pam. I'm very happy to be here to hosting you. And our course today will focus on two important of the Paritta or the chantings, right? As you know, the card has been shared on the Line group. The first one is Vaṭṭaka Paritta, and the second one is Angulimālaparitta. And today I am very honored and happy to have Phra Sankarak Anurak Sotthiko, or in short, Venerable Anurak. So he will share his knowledge and also his wisdom with all of us today. So you will hear more from him. But in order to begin the session, let me go introduce him to all of us first. He actually ordained at Dhammakaya Temple for almost 28 years now, since 1998. So he stayed in monkhood until now, with his currently position as assistant of the vice abbot of Dhammakaya Temple. And he's earned bachelor degree in business administration from marketing from Thailand. And as he stay in monkhood for many years, right, with his passion and aim, he loved to share his knowledge and wisdom with both international guests and also the lay people as well. So let me share you on his great achievement. He is a teaching monk at Dhammakaya Temple, Thailand, and also Dhammakaya Open University. And as well as he is a teaching monk at Dhammachai Center for Buddhist Study, or in short, DCI in Thailand. He is a former head of Asom Bandit Scholar Divisions. He also leading Dhamma talks and meditation sessions, both online and on-site for lay people and including the monk as well. And also conducting weekly meditation classes for 3 days and 7-day retreats, both monks and lay people. And he also incredible mentor and trainer for new monks as well as novices at Dhammakaya Temple. So he teaching Dhamma and Vinaya discipline. And as I mentioned, with his passion, he loved to share his wisdom with both Western people on the Eastern wisdom that we learn meditation and also Dhamma. So without further ado, I would like to invite everyone to officially start our learning session by paying respect to Venerable Anurak together 3 times. First bow, second bow, and third bow. Welcome, Monk Anurak. So please leading us pay homage to the Triple Gem and start the session. Thank you.
Now it's time to pay homage to the Triple Gem together. อะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภควาพุทธังภควันตังอภิวาเทมิบ่าวสวากขาโตภควตาธัมโมธัมมังนัมมัสสามิบ่าวสุปฏิปันโนภควโตสาวกสังโฆ Sang Khang Namami. Bow. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here in this class about Paritta, or protective chant, or protection charm. So we can know about, as I mentioned last time that we met, which is we learn about the characters of Lord Buddha, to getting to know him more, and about first and foremost I would love to bring with you today to know is the why Paritta chanting is so sacred. The reason that the Paritta chanting is so sacred because of record the history of Lord Buddha during his pursuing for perfections that took aeons until he fulfilled his goals that he would love to achieve. And as we all are here, we are Buddhists. We want to be just like him, to be the knower, to be the awakened, to be the joyful. That's why we learn about Paritta, the protective chant, so we can protect ourselves. But I would love to tell you a little bit about the chant. And when you live a little bit, longer than others, especially for now, when you pass half a century of age, you get to see things change. For example, me living in the rural area of Thailand, in the northern part of Thailand, we believe in spirits of the forest, of everything. So when I got sick when I was so young, the parents don't bring me to see the medical doctor. They brought me to see the shaman, so they can chant the protective chant and help me to be, getting better from what I had back then, 50 years ago. So when I think about all the chant, I think about that. When people believe that words that the shaman chant is become sacred, and then I heal, I getting better, and that is what I learned throughout the years. But now, when I'm joined this monkhood for many years, see a lot of things going on in this world. I also read more in the Buddhist scriptures, so I get to know the origin of all the chanting. So to me, it's like I gain a lot of knowledge by reading the scripture, and I would love you all to know that what I have learned throughout the years. So I share with you the concept of this. When we chant, if you want the chanting to be sacred, we quote some things at the high powers, we quote that. And we are Buddhists, we quote the virtues of the triple gems, as we just pray homage to all the triple gems, recently with the chant and with talk. So we think about the qualities that can bless you with all the high power from the purified power. So the chants can purify our mind, and then with the mind that's so clear and purified, so we'll be okay with everything that's going on in this world. Because we believe in law of karma, what we practicing is to cultivate merits in our mind, to purify and to dry away and dissolve for all the past sins that we have made throughout many lifetimes before. So don't forget all the bad, forget all the good. Especially when you chant and learn about the chanting, we learn about that. And when we chant, we're practicing meditation. We call this way recollective meditation, just thinking about what happened in the past, the goodness, the virtue. And that is how the protective charm or protective chanting works, or Paritta that we are about to learn now works. So let's jump into what we learning today. The first Paritta that I about to give you to learn is Vaṭṭaka Paritta. The meaning of Vaṭṭaka Paritta is the 12 protections. Lord Buddha, he bring the story him when he born as a quail, a little bird, and he quote that. So let's jump into the story. All the Paritta been chosen from the wise monk from the past, so we can see the character of Lord Buddha, what is stand out from other characters. So now let's learn about Vaṭṭaka Paritta. We begin with this word, this sentence, Attiloke Sila Kuno Satjang So Jayanutya. And the meaning of this is there is in this world the quality of virtue, truth, purity, and tenderness. So let's go slow and dissect word by word so you can see more clearly. Atti, the first word means exist. What it exists? The second word, loke, the earth where we are staying right now. What exists in this world? Sila kuno, the virtue. Satjang, the truth. So jaya, the purity. Nutya, tenderness. And that is the meaning of this. Why brought this up? Because when we chant, as I told you, we brought the higher power from the time that Lord Buddha, he cultivated merits throughout these virtues, throughout this Dhamma, or we can see the characters, the things that Lord Buddha would want us all to have. All this virtue, truth, purity, and tenderness in where? In our mind. Let's continue. Now, the word is Tena Sachena Kahami. In accordance with this truth, Sacha Kiriya Manuttarang, I will make an unsurpassed vow of truth. This is the whole meaning of all the sentence. As usual, we begin word by word so we can get to know how this chanting teach us to know about the characters of Lord Buddha. We begin from Tena. It means because of this. Tena means because of this. Because of what? Because of Satjena, of the truth. And the last word, Kahami, which means I will. I will what? I will keeping the truth. And because of this, or I keeping the truth, this is the meaning of the Pali verse. Here comes the second sentence in this page, is Sacha Kiriya Manuttarang. Sacha Kiriya means the act of truth. Kiriya means the act. And Sacha means the truth. Sacha Kiriya means the act of truth. And then Manuttarang, ma is me, my. And then Anuttarang is combined with two words, an, which is the, one of the combination of another word is Uttarang. Uttarang is mean surpass, excel. So and is the same meaning in English, unsurpassed, excel, or nothing can excel the truth that I have made or giving a vow or the act of truth. This is the meaning of these words. Let's continue. Awat Chitawa Dhamma Palang means sensing the strength of the Dhamma. The second sentence, Saritawa Puppake Shine, calling to mind the victors of the past. When you read this translation, you might be a little bit confusing because we're using the words for the ancient style of words. So let's jump into the translation word by word so you can get to know and having the clear idea about this. When we translate Pali, we begin from the last word. Dhamma Palang. Dhamma, the truth, the goodness, Palang means power. Dhamma, power. And then Avatthitāva means being considered. So this word means sensing the strength of Dhamma or Dhamma Palang, or the strength of Dhamma that I've been considered. And that is the translation of the first sentence. The second sentence, Saritawa Puppake Shine. Saritawa is the first word Sara, Sarit, and combining with Tawa. Saritawa is mean, Sara mean already done, and Tawa is mean limai. So already made, or remind ourselves about Puppake Shine. Shine means victors. This sentence, not just the ordinary victors, but the Buddhas, who are the victors of all defilements. Puppake Shine means the previously Buddha who already Nibbana. This is the meaning of this word. So the whole this, the first group of words, the quill, he quote this, all this. The first sentence, he quote about the virtue in this world that still exists. And this second sentence here, second group here, he quote the strength of Dhamma of the previous Buddha. Let's continue. Satya Palamavassaya, same meaning, but not the Dhamma Palang, but now is Satya Palang, or the strength or the power of the truth. Mavassaya, me depends, I independence of this strength, of the strength of the truth. This is the meaning of the first sentence. The second, Satya Kiriya, Maka Sahang, same meaning as before. Satya Kiriya means the act of truth, or the vow of truth, Maka Sahang, that I have made with unsurpassed vow of truth. This is the meaning. And why of that? Let's talk about that later. Let's continue. Santi Pakha Apatana. Santi Pakha means, you think about Pakha, it means something that when we think about Pakha is the bird. When we think about the bird, one thing that bird has different from another animal is the wings. Santi Pakha, I have wings. And then Apatana, but those wings has no feather yet. That means this bird cannot fly. And the second sentence, Santipada. Pada, we talked about this last time. Pada, bad or foot. Santipada or feet. Santipada means I have feet. Avanjana. Vanjana means walk. Avanjana means I cannot walk. I have feet but cannot walk, so we can knew that this bird, he is just born not so long ago. So the young bird. Okay, let's continue. Mata, Pita, Janikanta. Mata, mother. Pita, father. Janikanta. Nik means out. Kanta means off. Out of means set off, or Mata Pita have left me. This is the translation of this. Shataveda Jataveta Patikama. Shataveta means fired. Patikama means withdraw. Fire, go back. This is the meaning. So I need to explain you more about all this, all that the little quail quote. Is that he quote about the truth. The first groups, the first sentence, that combining into the idea of the virtue that exists in the world. And then the second part of this chanting, he quote the strength of the Dhamma of previous Buddha. And then now he caught the reality of his. He young. And mother and father went off. So he lonely now. He's just all by himself. And this is all the truth. So he always quotes the truth. And then he ordered the fires. Withdraw. Go back. And that is how this little quail brought this all up. Okay, let's continue. Saha Satche Kate Mai Hang. Mai Hang means of my. And then Saha means now. Saha Satche Kate, which means in the name of the truth that I have wow right now. This is the meaning of the whole sentence. Maha means the great. Pachalito is meaning frames. Sikhi means crested. So the meaning of Maha Pachalito Sikhi means the great crested frames. Continue. And this is what Jesi. Sola Sakarisani Utthagang Pattawa Yatha Sikhi. The whole sentence means we begin from the first word Vaṭṭaka. Vaṭṭaka means avoid. Sola Sakarisani, it means 16 grids is the area. It's about 1.5 square kilometers. Sola Sakarisani is the area 1.5 square kilometer. Utthagang is mean the water. Pattawa means already achieved. And Yatha is mean this. And Sikhi is mean frames. So the whole sentence is mean avoid the 16 acre around me as if they has come to the body of water. It's a little bit confusing, but with what I told you word by word, Sikhi, the frame, Yatha, this Pattawa already achieved as Utthagang. Utthagang means waters. And what Che Si, this is the main word it already achieved. It means all the fire around me, that means disappear, means stop. The fire being stopped. Because the backstory is not about the wildfire that about to burn the bird. So he caught this protective chant to protect him. And then he asked him, with all the truths that he caught, may all the fire in this area around 1.5 square kilometers means vanished, disappear. And that's what he means. So let's continue. Satjena me samo nati. Word by word. Samo means like. Nati. It means nothing. And me, nothing is like my satjena, my truth. The whole sentence means my truth has no equal. Esa means this. Me, my. Satya paramita, this is my perfection of truth. So the whole Paritta already translated. So let me conclude this Paritta to you. The backstory is when the little bird been left in his nest, and you see the story I told you already with the translation. The mother and father or the parents have free with all the fires, but he caught the truth of his, especially Satya Paramita, the perfection that Lord Buddha cultivating during his previous life when he was still has defilement in his mind. So why brought all this to showing you, so we knew when we have a problem, if you want to be free from all the problems, from the ancient time, we use the power of mind. We court the truth we court the higher power from the Buddha, from the triple gems, so we can be free from all the dangers. And that is the idea. And let's bring back to the story of mine that I told you before we begin the translation. When I was so young, people believe in this. People believe in not in chemical that inject to our blood system. They believe in the virtue. They believe in spirits. They believe in higher power. That's why this chanting is so sacred. So especially people in the past. But now, if you focus on not just the truth that the goodness that these 12 chords, not just the power of the triple gems or the previous Buddha, but when the monk chants, you focus on the truth of you. For example, the whole year I haven't lied even one word of lie, and that is the truth. You can quote that, and you can use it, and you can sharing this. So that's how this sacred words sacred. But to me, is one way that we can practice meditation. Meditation can help us to gain the power of mind, and also to living in full potential, in full consciousness. Be aware of every single situation that happens, that how we've been saved, that how we can living our life because of the truth. So this Buddhist Paritta that we're about to learn today is all about the truth. And you might heard people nowadays, they say truth prevail. Not just the situation, but also defilements. And that is the character of Lord Buddha that stand out. You have a truth. You need to have that truthfulness in you. So when you practicing or cultivating merit or paramita or the perfections, when you fulfill what you aim for, all these perfections, paramita, when you fulfill all this, you will enlighten. What is Lord Buddha enlightened? He enlightenment to see the noble truth, and that the ultimate. If you want to enlighten, to see, to attain the noble truth, to attain Dhamma in yourself, Dhamma, it means the truth and also the goodness. So you need to begin with truthfulness, and that is the characters that I have learned with this Paritta. So let's continue to another Paritta. To me, I so like this Paritta because the backstory is so interesting. Why so interesting? Let's talk about that later. All right. Now it's time to begin with Angulimālaparitta, or the meaning is Angulimala protections. And first thing first, Paritta is mean protective chant or protection charm. Angulimala, actually it has two words. The first word is Anguli. Anguli means finger. And then Mala means the garland or the necklace. So you can get the ideas. If you don't know what is the garland, is something you wore around your neck, or the necklace. Angulimalas mean the necklace fingers, the fingers that become necklace or garlands. And that is the meaning of these Angulimālaparitta. Let's continue. Yatohang Pakini Ariyaya, it is the word of the chanting. Shatiya Shato Na Pishanami. The whole sentence is mean, since I was born, sister, with a noble birth. Okay, let's explaining the word, all these word by words. Yatohang means since. Pakini means sister. Ariyaya Shatiya Shato is that one meaning, which means since I was born in the noble birth or ordinations. This word means ordination. Napi Sha Nami is mean do not know. Since I was born, sister, with the noble truth, what is I do not know. Let's continue. Sanchitja panang shivita voropeta. Sanchitja is mean intention. And with the previous word na pi sha nami, I do not know. Sanchitja intentionally panang shivita voropeta. Voropeta means taking life. Shivita is mean life. Panang is taking away. So sanchitja panang shivita voropeta with the previous word na pi sha nami. Since I was ordained, I haven't intentionally deprived or taken any living beings of life. And this is the meaning of whole sentence. Let's continue. Tena sachena, tena sachena, the sachena, the truth of my. Sothite hotu, Sothi is my name as a monk. My monk name is Sothi. Sothi just means well-being, a blessing. Te, you hotu, I bless you. You be blessed, or may there be well-being for you. It is the translation of this word. Let's continue. Sothi kapasa, not just you, but Sothi, well-being or blessing to what? To kapasa. Kapasa means the womb, for the child in your womb. And that is the whole sentence of this Angulimālaparitta. It's short Paritta, but the backstory is quite long. So I will tell you why this protection charm is so important. Why the wise monks from the past, they take this to be one of the example, and also to bring rest to those who chanting this. So let's conclude and learning about the backstory of this. Angulimālaparitta is the life of Angulimala. Who is Angulimala? Some of you might know about him. Angulimala is the name of the notorious criminal in Lord Buddha's time. And who is he? He was born in the rural village, and then he since he was after his birth, he's been forecast that this person, he's gonna be like lot of violence gonna arrive from him, and so he been sent off from the parents to study in the prestigious university, so he can learn the ancient knowledge. He learned many things, and he became the grade A student. Mean he's so smart and has a lot of merits. And the parents named him because the forecast from the fortune teller said he gonna hurt a lot of people, and wherever he go, there come violence and people gonna die. And that is the forecast that made from the fortune teller since he was born. And so he's been named Ahingsaka, mean the non-violent one. So that is the breast to the baby, so he will not harm anyone. And then he goes study, as I mentioned, in the one of the best university there is back then. So he learned a lot, and with the previous life merits that he have made, so he learned so fast and get well so with everything that he do. So he been jealous from his colleagues, and then they just spreading rumor, especially they just talk to the professor who taught all the students in that university. So when the rumors, spreading, and also with the mentor, the professor, who don't really have enough virtue. And that is, I would love to tell you, we all have the good quality in ourselves, and also the limitations of ourselves. So we need to learn about that and accept, especially when you become a teacher, you need to focus more. And now when I become a teacher, as in now, they assign me to be a teacher, to talk about the translations of the chanting. So I need to study more about the backstory, so I get it. I have limitations. For example, I don't really understand Bali that much. So to me, when I study the sutra, the backstory, the word from the chants, so I try to see the pictures, so I get to understand what is going on. And this is the conclusion I have conclude from the story of Ahingsaka, or Angulimāla, when he was so young, when he go to study in the university, and then with the rumors, with the misunderstanding, with the crowded judgment of the teacher or the professor, he gave the cruel assignment to Ahingsaka. He says, in order for you to graduate from this university, he said, I need 1,000 fingers from 1,000 people. Each one is from different people. One each. One people, one finger. You bring the fingers to me so you can graduate what you have learned here in this ashram or in this university. So, straight A student, that means he's so focused, he's so clear what he aimed for, he want to achieve. So the mind is so, the full attention with these studies. So he went off with all the science that he has learned. He has know a lot of things, especially the way of the using the source. So he killed many people until one day when people scalp him, because when he killed people, he cut off the finger and put it around his neck to count. He needed 1,000 fingers, so he used, and it is why this is the origin of the name Angulimāla, the finger garlands. You can see in these pictures. He has that finger all around his neck so he can count how many left, so he can graduate from this science, from the crowded judgmental professor or teaching of his bad mentor. So in this story of Angulimāla, we can learn a lot with the character of people. And then one day, you can see in these pictures, in this graphic, I show you, you can see the old ladies, because of what he does. People so scared of him and complaining to the king. His name is Pasenti, and the king is about to send off the troops with 500 horses to execute him, to kill him. So when the mom knew that a lot of people complaining about her son, she worried so much. So he came into the forest that become the hideout from Angulimāla to warn him that the king about to send off the troops. So the moms came to warn him in these pictures. But before that, Lord Buddha, he knew in his supervisions. So in between him and the mom, Lord Buddha cut off Now he saw the monks instead of the mom. But with the crowd adjustment before he met Lord Buddha, he about to kill his mother. He don't see his mother, but he see the number 1,000 is the fingers of his mom. So this is the example of those who've been crowded by defilements, greed. He has greed. He had hatred. He killing people. He had delusions. He don't see things as they are. So that's how this story tells us. So Lord Buddha know all about it. So he interfered with the kill. So he changed the mark from the mom to Lord Buddha himself. So he tried to sprint to catch and to kill his trophy. He's more like a serial killer right now, to cut off the finger of the monks. So he sprint in full speed. But he cannot catch up with the monks. Lord Buddha, he just casually walk. But, he ran chasing Lord Buddha for a little while, but cannot catch up with him. So he get exhausted, so tired. So he yelled, "Stop, monk, stop walking." And that Angulimala shout out. But Lord Buddha, is he stop? No. He continued walking, and then he looked over his shoulder to Angulimala, who following him, and said, "I have stopped, but you are not." So that is, with this sentence that Lord Buddha said, that means he's so upset, he's so, furious and so mad about Lord Buddha. And he said, Angulimala said, "You clearly walking right now, monk. Why you said you stop?" And Lord Buddha said, "I stop harming people. I lay down, I put aside all my sword, all my weapons, never going to harm any beings. That means I'm stopped. But you haven't, Angulimala." And with this word, he come to senses. Because before he became Angulimala, he was Ahingsaka, the straight A student, the one who had logic mind. He come to senses. He think it's more like the word for Lord Buddha, the teaching of him. It's not just, he just not just hearing the word, but the word is, go directly to his mind. So it's like the crowded judgment that been put in or quoted by his previous mentor, and the fog of defilements being vaporized, disappear. His mind become clear. He's so sad, and he regrets from what he does. And then he asking, "Can I be your student?" And Lord Buddha accept. So he grant him the ordinations. And then the story is not finished yet. After he is joining the monkhood, whenever he goes seeking alms in the morning, because his, notorious word, people so scared of him, and then they throw the rocks to him, the broken pottery or anything they can throw, they throw all that to him, to hurting him. Every single morning he's soaking with blood, every single time. And Lord Buddha told him, that is the echo of your previous karma. You're killing a lot of people, and this is the echo of what you does. And that is the teaching of Lord Buddha. But King Pasenti, he still want to chasing these notorious criminals. So he brought a lot of troops to chase him. And then when he reached to the monastery that Lord Buddha and Angulimala or Ahingsaka staying, so before he going out, he know that, the story is that he know that Angulimala is still around this area. So he have the, what been asking from the people to help to get rid of this ahingsaka, he tried to chase him. And then when he left the monastery, he asking for blessing from Lord Buddha. Now the kings, he have made the vow, and he was blessing from, he made a vow that he had to capture Angulimala, and he need blessing for Lord Buddha in order for him to achieve that. So Lord Buddha asking the monk, asking the kings is that if this is sorry for the graphics, if you see or met Angulimala, who's now shaving his head and put on the robes, or then as a monk, what do you do? Your Majesty. And that is the word for Lord Buddha. When His Majesty come to ask him blessing from Lord Buddha, that he's asking. And this is something that I would love to mention with you, is that Lord Buddha, if you see him as the mentor, you can see him as the one who so understands about people mind. He understands so much about the mind's game. So that's why he understands how to teaching people. For example, Angulimala, he just quote something that Angulimala can understand. So the backstory is, don't mind the graphics, so listen to me what I'm saying right now. What I'm about to tell you is that when Lord Buddha brought something and speak out or taught or teach to the people, he have goal in mind, what he expect from this, and he always get that because he have the power to understand the mind of people. And when he talking to His Majesty the King Pasenati, he asked first, if you met Angulimala who you about to go execute, not just capture, but to kill, to execute the notorious criminal, what would you do if he ordained as a monk? So King Pasenati just laughed. And then he said, if that notorious criminal ordained as a monk, I will bow to him, greeting him, and give him the necessity as the monk need. I will provide all that to him. And Lord Buddha, he is so pleased with the answer of the King Pasenati, because that he so respect to the triple gems. So that's why he have a good mind. But with the complaints from all the people, he need to get rid of the people problem. Because Angulimala stopped the economic routes. The merchant who travel from state to state, they need to pass on the forest that being the hideout for Angulimala. So that's why King Pasenati about to go chase him around the same area, that the place that Lord Buddha is staying right now. So when he asked the question from King Pasenati, and he replied wisely that when he saw Angulimala as the monk, I will bow, I will respect, but he said, the king said, that's not possible. Angulimala, how can he be like that? He killing people. He's stealing, from people. And that is rumor. And also he cut off the fingers to change it to his mala or the garlands around his neck to be his necklace. Why would he ordain? And then Lord Buddha, he just, pointing the way to the monk that is Angulimala, Your Majesty. And that is what Lord Buddha said. So when King Pasenati heard from the Lord Buddha that the monk who's so peaceful and serenity that he has as the good monk should do, practicing. So he's so fearful for he not just see the monk, he see the fears of whom? Of him. The fear from the names that he heard throughout many years, Angulimala, and that is what he see in his mind. So he's so fearful, so he's so afraid, and he said he's shivering down the spine. It's been described in the scriptures, and so he's so fear. And Lord Buddha says, "Don't be fear, Your Majesty." The monk he stopped from all the killings. He keeping all the precepts, and that is Angulimala. He stayed there. So King Pasenti he talking to the monk. "Are you really Angulimala?" And that's King Pasenti asking, "Are you really Angulimala?" And the monks reply, "Yes, I am Angulimala. Who is your father? Who is your mother?" And Angulimala give the answer to the kings. So the kings giving him the new name. The monk's name is that you are this Buddha Bhikkhu. That means the Ahingsaka Angulimala already died from this world. He become the monk and already have a new life, a new given name from the kings. And that's why he pardoned from what he does, from what he killing people. And that is the story of the virtue of those who they say accept what he done wrong. And that is Satya. And that is the truth that Angulimala have been practicing by himself. And that is not the story of Paritta. It is just the introductions to Paritta. Why is that? After King Pasenti pardons Angulimala, he went off, seek out the alms as he usually do, and soaking wet with blood every single morning. But one day he met with the pregnancy woman who suffer from the obstruct labor. It means the baby doesn't come out. So she's so in pain and so fear, both Angulimala, because he's, the name is possessed him, the reputation possessed him. So she's so scared of Angulimala and still hurt is so bad with, the obstruct laboring. And then here come the Paritta, the chanting. I would love to bring the Angulimala protection or chanting once again for you can see. He said this to the women who are about to giving birth but being obstruct for whatever reason. He said, "Yato hang pakini ariyaya shatiya shato na pishanami sanchitya panang vichitawa voropeta." This is body word from the protective chant. It means since I was born in this monkhood, since I was joining the monkhood, I never once thinking about harming people, not to mention killing, even harm. That's not happened in my mind. By this, tena satjena, by the truth, my truth, the goodness that I have done. Sotthite hotu, may well-being happen to you, bless you. And also, Sothi kapasa, bless your womb, bless your baby. And then after he quotes the truth of his satya, the baby come out easy. And that is the story of why this Angulimala protection is so important. Because also the 12 protection we learning previously, we learn about the truth of the small bird, the quails. And now we're learning about Angulimāla, the story of, people who have redemptions and what he have suffered that from his own karma. We can learn from this is that as the story of when I was so young, the story of the quail, a little bird, the story of Angulimāla or Ahimsaka before he was ordained, and after the ordination, we all talk about the truth, the Dhamma, and Palang, or the strength, the power of Dhamma, which is exceeds, nothing can compare with the Satya or the truth of the Dhamma. Why is that? I would love to add a little bit more about this so you can understand about the whole Paritta, the whole chanting, why the wise monks from the past, from the ancient times, they brought this Paritta so the monk can practicing chanting. Because on the story that been chosen is so clear about the character of Lord Buddha, about those who pursue for perfections, pursue for enlightenment. And as Angulimāla, he been pardoned, forgiveness from the kings that been given from the kings, so he doesn't have to be punished from the crime that he does. But the crime that he does, the karma that he did, still exists in his mind. So he has to suffer from the consequences, from the bad deeds he have cultivating. Instead of merit, he do it opposite way. Because of the crowded judgment, because of the defilements that been brought from the mentor to his mind. But when he met the right teacher, he met Lord Buddha with the teaching, with the beautiful and the truth from Lord Buddha, he came to his senses. Crowded judgment, crowded mind being evaporated, so he get to see. And that is what we've been learning. Last time, this time, we know about the jakku, the eyes. We need that to enlighten. We need the light of wisdom. To see the word enlightenment means we have the light of wisdom in our mind to see what is really going on in this world. Ahimsaka or Angulimāla, he doesn't see. His judgment clouded by defilement. And all the fog of defilements been lifted, been evaporated by Lord Buddha, by the truth. So that's what I see from this story. From when I think back to recollect from all the previous memory of mine about the chant, the protective chant from the shaman that he been cast on me. He see this, and I have learned with many one who learn about the spell, not the chant, the spell, black magic. I asking all the one that I have known is that what is the trick or the tips to getting well about learning all the black magic. Everyone who studied black magic, he said, you need to keeping the truth. You need to keeping, you need to make a vow to yourself, not to do this, not to do that. But these protective chants, all the chanting, all the words gave us the characters of Lord Buddha. He quoted all the goodness, especially today, we quote the truth, Dhamma, and that I would love you all to see. We learn about this Paritta chant, protective chants, and now people, they believe, some of them believe of this higher power from the chants. But to me, I know about the truth. So whenever I have been invited to chant, I'm not really, the monks who give a proper chant or to learn a lot about chanting. I love to share about the reason, the why. So you get in depth, so you can practicing, so you can upgrade yourself to become a better person, to have a clear mind, to have a good perspective, so you have the clear visions. So when you perceive information from the eyes, the ears, the nose, the body, whatever you feel throughout the day, whatever situation you have faced, when you amongst a lot of people, what I would love you all to know is pay attention to you, getting to know about you, learning about what you feel, your emotions, and that is the wisdom that Lord Buddha would want us all to know. So the chant is the one way to practicing meditation. The chant we call recollections meditations. We think about the goodness, the truths, the virtue, the tenderness, or whatever goodness that we can brought, we can quote, so we can use that power of the previous Shine, the victors, or Lord Buddha. He already victor over what? Over defilements, over Mara, who constantly suffering us, suffocate us, and also giving suffering all the time, no rest in this samsara, never rest. People, all beings continue, doing actions to their mind, to their speech, to their all physical actions, and that we need to learn from all Paritta. Now today we learn about Vaṭṭaka Paritta and also Angulimālaparitta. It's all about the truth. The truth always prevails. If you want to achieve in whatever you have planned in your mind, in the material world, in the spiritual world, in the material way, spiritual way, artificially interact right now, or spiritual interact, they all have the same, same thing in common. You need to be truth to yourself. Commit yourself to that learning. As Ahimsaka, as Angulimala, before he been, manipulated by the bad mentor. We all have a lot of bad influences right now in this world. So you need to pay attention. You need to come back to your senses, as Angulimala does when he met with Lord Buddha. And that is what I would love you all to know. Come to your senses. Be mindful. Pay attention to your emotion. Learning about the truth. Learning about Dhamma. Learning about the virtue of Lord Buddha. Learning about the truth, the goodness of every being, everyone's. Learning about the characters of Arahant. Learning about the characters of the teachers, the good teacher. You need to see that. And be mindful all the time. Because the world nowadays, with a lot of manipulative situations, and also all the traps being set by Mara, by defilements, we have pressure all over the world. You need to understand all that, because all the pressure, all the traps, the Lord Buddha would ask all to be aware from that and quote the truth all the times. The truth of you. When you listen to the chant, whatever chanting it is, you focus on the truth. Today, I haven't broke any sila or precept, and that's how you need to see the truth of you. This is the most important. But we see Lord Buddha as the example, role model. And that is the goal we want to achieve as the OU student. To learn about the chanting translation, we want to see that, see role model. The way that Lord Buddha practiced himself. Every word that you learn today, that is the characters. You need to cultivate. You need to perform. You need to practicing over and over until it becomes your nature, unchanged. And then you will be feeling like liberated from some traps, from some things that trap you here in this samsara. We've been liberated by the goodness. We've been learning about to be free from ourselves, from the past, from things that we done wrong. At Ahingsaka, he been forgiven by the kings. He been forgiven by his practicing until he, letting go of all the wrong. He said, please be mindful. Have the whole consciousness with you all the times. And living your life, don't be, sorrow from the things from the past. Don't be regrets. Be free. Learning about the now. Cultivating merit more and more until you have the new nature. Become a new person. And that, the chanting, will be bless you all the time, not just now, but to eternity, until we reach the utmost Dhamma. And that's what we hope. And that's what I hope. And I would love to bless you with all the chanting here. And I try, to give you this translation so you can understand the back story, so you can learn about Pali words, you can know about the character of Dhamma, and you can learn about what's really going on in this world. See, people, see, look, watch, observe, and that's what we need to practice. Still now, today I try to see myself, and that is the most important person of my life, me, and also you. Practicing together. We are not a teacher and student. We are friends who are born in this cycle of life. And I learned something a little bit, so I'm sharing a little bit with you all with what I have learned throughout my years. Thank you so much for staying here with me still. And I hope these things that I share with you may probably benefit you in some way. I hope that, and bless you with all the truths I have met throughout my life and also the previous life of mine. And that is all I would love to give you today. Thank you once again for being here and having me here. So now it's time to come back to our senses, to learning about mindfulness, to practicing meditation, shall we? If you're ready, give me a thumbs up, and then we go to meditation session. All right, you are ready now. Let's meditate from now on. Thank you so much once again. Close our eyes. It's time to meditate. This is the only way to get enlightened. To meditation. We close our eyes. The tips that I would love to give you today about meditations always begins from good feelings. Always. You can recall your happy memories from the past. Last time I told you, when the mind sees, the mind believes. Giving the mind something that mind can see, the happy memories. So the brain can feel the happy within ourselves. So the brain will release a good chemical for us to be more blissful. Thinking about your good times with families, with your loved one. Or imagine that you are sitting at your favorite place, your front lawn, nearby the beach, on the top of the mountain, under the waterfalls. Use your imagination in a proper way, the way that can benefit you in this practice towards enlightenment, good feelings always. So when you're having a bad day or the hard time, come back to your senses. Come back to your good memories. Come back to your favorite place. And that is the tip I would love to share with you. And enjoy the joyous that we are feeling right now for a little while. The memories that can give you a smile. You can simply smiling to yourself, and with that smiling, the brain will be triggered by your facial muscles, signal the brain that you're having a good time now. Smile to yourself. Stay in the good memories of you. And enjoy the moment. And now relaxing the body from the top. We pay attention to our smile recently. So begins with the facial muscles, relaxing them all. But if you can smiling, it's not gonna be taking any effort for you to be relaxed your facial muscles. Relaxing your neck, shoulders, both of your arms, your torso, your chest, back, abdomen, the main pillar of your body. Relax your hips, both of your legs down to your feet. Now pay attention to the whole body. Relax. Using the word sabai in Thai. Sitting sabai sabai. Means you are comfortably sitting with a comfortable body, also the comfortable mind. Sabai sabai. Sitting and sabai with me. Observe your body, how you feel, the movements of your chest, your abdomen, your belly. Just observe. Getting to know you, the most important person in this world, yourself. Pay close attention to yourself and enjoy the time. Sabai, sabai. And breathe in and out normally. getting to know how you breathe, how you are breathing. Is it fast, slow, shallow or deep? Taking your time. Sabai, sabai. And breathe in and out. Breathe sabai, sabai. Focus on your breath now. Breathe in soft and deeply down to your stomach. And breathe out from your stomach through your nose. Breathe in gently, slowly and deeply. Breathing out long and gentle until you feel the center of your body, where your breathing ends inside your belly. Come back to the center of body, where you can be and free from any attachment outside. Follow your breath. Observe until you feel your center so clear. When you feel your center, visualize a crystal ball. A small size appear at your center to represent the pureness, the clarification of your mind. When we're practicing meditation, the mind being purified until the mind becomes so clear, until eventually illuminating. But no need to rush. Just stay with your center. Place your mind there with your crystal ball, so clear. Use your feelings, not your eyes. Doesn't matter you can see the crystal ball or not, but feel the existence of the crystal ball. Of feelings is that your center. That's it. Not more than that. Stay with the center. Quietly, peacefully. Let's do that. Stay with our center quietly for a while now. And now I will giving you the blessing in Pali language. Sapphe Puttha Palapatta Paccheka Nanjayang Palang Arahantanan Jate Shena Rakhang Pantami Saphaso Te Talatha Sukhita Virunha Puttasa Sane Arokha Sukhita Ho Tha Saha Sapphe Hi Yati Pi Sapphaputtha Nupavena Sapphathammanupavena Sappasangkhanupavena Sathasoti Bhavantu Te. Let's pay homage to the triple gem together by the triple gems honorary chant. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Putthaṃ Bhagavantang Abhivādhami Puttho me nato. The Buddha is my refuge. Sovakhato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Dhammo me nato. The Dhamma is our refuge. Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Saṅkho Saṅghang namami. Saṅkho me nato. The Sangha are our refuge. Thank you so much once again for having me today.
Thank you so much for undoing me. So before we wrap up the session, may I invite everyone pay respect to Venerable Anurak by bowing 3 times together. First bow, second bow, and third bow.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for such a beautiful session indeed. And I believe everyone has learned a lot and able to apply this chanting, which is the protective chanting, in everyday life. And also, thank you so much, Venerable, for spending your valuable time guiding and sharing your wisdom with all of us. I don't need to conclude anything. Your word is very beautiful and meaningful already. And looking forward to see everyone once again on tomorrow. We have Venerable Rungvit to share another 2 important chanting with us tomorrow. So for now, have a great day, great night, wherever you are. Take care. Goodbye and good night.